we are going live. Where's my bottle opener? This is where my bottle opener is. In my wallet, as normal people have it. Did I ever use my bottle opener in Amsterdam?
No, I don't remember using your bottle
I
opener.
have it. It's like a credit card sized thing that I keep in my wallet.
Oh
It's
no, I think you must. Did we? You must have. You must have.
it's fucking great. I've had this thing for years, and it's my best party trick.
No, do you know what? We didn't, because the only time I drank with you was at the party, and they were just opening bottles at the fucking bar.
That's true,
So
yeah.
we didn't pregame or
I
anything.
mean,
I don't
we
think
might,
so.
but
No.
like, there's like soft drinks and stuff that you can get in,
Oh, you know what? You might have when I got What the fuck? You told me to get it.
Mate, Club Mate.
Yeah, the mate. Yeah.
Yeah, which you didn't appreciate because you're American.
No, I don't fuck with
It's too
mate.
bitter.
No,
We don't
dude,
we don't do
it's not my
clamato
thing.
here in the United
No, it's
States,
not
dude.
clamato. It's club mate. It's I don't know. I can't
Chlamydia.
describe it. Yeah, it's basically.
So there's a this it's a South American drink. Yerba mate is a kind of tea. It's very high in caffeine.
Hmm.
And it's people drink it primarily in like Brazil and Argentina, but it's very popular all over South America. So in the
It's like a
30
natural substitute for Monster.
so in the 30 it is it very much
here
is.
in the
So
United
in the 30s or something, a German brewing company based in Bavaria created like a soda, a soft drink made from that. And it was because it was German. It wasn't particularly sweet. It's mostly bitter.
It's a good thing I wasn't Austrian, otherwise they would have made it deadly sweet.
Yeah, and this didn't really take on popularity in like the 80s and 90s, when it became very very popular in the German hacker scene, particularly the Chaos Computer Club, and from there it sort of moved into the United States by like German programmers that started to work in the American tech industry. Going, hey, we need Club Mate, otherwise we cannot work. We require this stuff. We are literally addicted to it. It is our coffee, and I too am addicted to that stuff. I drink it literally every day. I don't drink coffee, but I drink mate, and there's not just Club Mate. There's a bunch of different kinds. The West one I think is Thomas Henry Mate, but I can't get it at my local supermarket. So I have to drink Club Mate iced tea, which I think is a bit better because it's a little sweeter, but in like a dark, like brown sugar kind of way. Yeah,
Oh.
I know too much about this drink. I'm a drinks guy.
I'm gonna
Yeah, I
have to
don't
try
know.
this shit if I can ever find it.
It was all right. Again, I wasn't the biggest fan. It has nothing to do with it not being sweet because I drink just like iced tea all the time. It's my drink of choice. But like, I don't know. I forget. It's been a while
It's
since
an
I had it.
acquired
'Cause I had
taste.
it there, and then way later in the trip when I was in like Slovakia, I had it. There was someone that got it there. I was hanging out with some Chilean dudes, and like they were drinking it, and I was like, sure, what the fuck, I'll have some. It's like the same. I was like, it's okay.
It's an acquired taste. I had to drink
Yeah.
it like a couple times before I liked it. And with the first time I
Yeah.
drank it, I was like, this is disgusting. And now I am literally addicted to it.
I'll be honest, dude, minus the addiction part, the same thing happened to me with beer. It took me a while to get used to beer.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
now
that's
it's
just
crippling
the
alcohol.
journey of
That's
alcohol.
how everyone is with beer and
Yeah.
everyone's with coffee.
Am I lagging
green tea
just
as
for
well.
yellow cheese or for everyone?
No, you are kind of cutting out for me as well, brother.
Yeah,
That is
dude.
weird. Let me check some stuff.
It's the class.
Okay, so it wasn't just me.
Lag. Yeah.
Honestly, Berg, I don't think it's necessarily something on your end. We were having like the same issue with Anfash the other day. Well, not the other day, just like
let
a few
me-
minutes before you went on the stream.
Let me restart Discord though. Let me just try and do that maybe. And I can't. I was thinking about like rebooting my computer, but that's not really an option, given that. I'm live streaming. I mean, I guess given that this is not a Twitch live stream, I could just redo that. But I'd rather you people like you in like chat on YouTube. You can hear me fine, right? Can you confirm or deny this in any way, shape, or form? Let's get back on the server. Let's get back in the studio
But he's
booth.
sad in the West.
it
Free
tells me
Hong
that
Kong,
I
we are
have
now
like,
banned in China.
I have 3 bars on voice chat, so I don't know. I hope it's better now.
Yep, sounds
Yeah,
like
it's
it,
better
brother.
now. So much better.
Let's
We'll
hope that
figure it
it
out.
keeps that way, right?
Yeah.
God
It's just
damn,
that
this
ever since
car
I've been
smells
doing
horrible.
folding, my PC's just been running non-stop, so...
Oof, yeah.
I can't do folding anymore. I need to get a new fucking charger for my fucking laptop.
It's pretty gay, my man.
Well, and you want to know something gayer? It supposedly came in the mail on Thursday, and I think it got fucking stolen.
I got a
Oof.
fucking letter from the state attorney's office, but I didn't get a letter from the state attorney's office. It was just somebody who had my surname. And it wasn't the guy who also has my surname who lives in the same house as I do. So I had to go to the courthouse today to give them back their letter. And say, I do not know who this is. Please stop sending me mail for this guy because I do not know him. Thank you very
Dude,
much.
he's like your doppelganger. He's just you with a goatee and he's evil.
Yeah.
Like, he's somewhere else.
I know this. I got a. This is like a month ago though, like right before, or a little longer, right before the coronavirus became a thing in the West. We had like I got like 3 fucking phone calls and a bunch of text messages about this like dentist appointment in
Yeah.
northern Norway. Like, so talking like literally like thousands of kilometers away from where I live. Like, it's not me, and I called them. It's not me, and they kept calling me like, you need to come. And it turns out this is not the phone number of the guy. This is the phone number of his mom, which is 1 letter away from mine. Because the person like has like a completely different name than mine, and he's like 7.
Damn.
And I had it, and they thought I was calling his mom all the time. It's like, no, this is me. I'm not a woman.
So it says in the title that it's a Dream Journal episode, and that is actually true.
Yeah.
So I have
Oh
this.
my god.
So a while ago, I had a friend of mine make this WhatsApp group, and then put me in the WhatsApp group, and then she left the WhatsApp group. So now it's basically a WhatsApp group that only I am in. And it's called Jeffrey Epstein, and it's just a picture of Jeffrey Epstein. So if I was in public and you were looking over my shoulder, it would look as though I'm texting with Jeffrey Epstein.
Dude, what a Chad.
Anyway, that group is my dream journal and also my journal. At the end of the day, I write down 3 things that made me happy today. Or, like, when I can't come up with 3 things, I just write down 3 things that made me feel something that wasn't bad. And I generally, that's a bar that I can clear. But also, that's the last thing I do in the evening. So, last thing I do in the evening is text with Jeffrey Epstein. Text with Jeffrey Epstein, also the very first thing I do in the morning, right after I wake up, when I write down the latest dream that I can remember. And that doesn't always happen. Because, you know, it's very often I will have fallen. I will like be in this half awake state, where you slowly drift back to consciousness, and then usually you just don't remember your dreams very well. What is happening? But yeah, I've been recording my dreams since early last month. I had an old dream journal, but it was very inconvenient. And this one, I hate this one too because I have to type on the phone, and I fucking hate typing on the phone. But you know, we do what we have to.
Awful.
Big thumbs.
I didn't even know what a dream journal is.
But you just write down the dreams you had, or like dreams that you can
Oh.
remember.
Yeah, basically.
Man, I don't think I want to do that. That's too much horror.
Dreams are of the devil.
I
Mashallah,
wake up
not
in
Christian.
terror to the
So
weird.
so the
shit
thing
I
about
dream
these
about.
is I have to be careful with these because some of them are very personal, and I can't like reveal personal information here, so I have to read them for myself first. But they're not very long usually, and then I can read them out loud. And there's some weird shit in here. I could just I always just read ahead, and then when I stop, you'll know that it's because it's personal information. I always start this with my last dream today. My last dream today was being at the university, except it wasn't the university. You know, like when it's a different place, but you think it's that place. But it's also the last year of school. At first, I was stuck when trying to find some people I knew. I remember this. I was standing in like a parking lot, and people were walking past, but I just couldn't move. But then I went to class where I met a guy that I knew from middle school, who was in the final year with me. We made a joke about how the first lesson on Friday was going to be the end of the school year. Yeah, that dream had me feeling weirdly melancholic. This is not a funny stream, by the way. This is gonna be sad.
Oof.
Oh.
No, don't worry. I'm gonna make it funny. I'm gonna post every corrupt car meme I know.
Jesus.
I'm gonna do my damn hardest to turn this stream into a shitty meme stream like I always do.
Good man. Good man.
Oh, look who it is. It's the Brazilian.
Brazil Man Warrior.
Oh, how you doing, my man? We're doing dream journals.
We're doing what?
My dream journal. You're gonna have to psychoanalyze this shit.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, fucking hell.
You gotta do it in
okay,
your Jordan
sure.
Peterson voice, though.
Yeah, you can psychoanalyze my dream.
You mean
last
this
night,
voice
so.
that kind of looks like Kermit, kind of looks like Jordan? And I can tell you that your subconscious mind, even though that term isn't correct, is completely fucked up.
Yeah, that one.
So,
That one. Mm-hmm.
So, was there
Burger,
any more
before
to
you
this?
continue with your dream journal, I want to tell you about some recurring dreams I keep.
Okay.
So basically, I keep on having these dreams where I'm about to how do I word this?
Fuck.
Nut.
I'm about to have coitus with some lady, and I keep on getting cockblocked. Usually the lady tries to kill me. It's really sad.
That's a pretty
definitely
heavy
means you're gay.
cockblock, man.
Yeah.
I think the last one, like, she had like some weird ice powers and tried to dice me up into little cubes.
Cool.
It's been long
Ice
since you played Borderlands 3
dice?
because
I
there's a
think-
scene about that.
I think your subconscious was trying to tell
There are
you
much
that
more
bitch
creative
was
ways
cold.
to kill someone if you had ice powers than just slice them up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if you've got dick out. Jesus.
Dude, freeze his
Yeah.
dick and make a dildo. Like, easy. Kill him with
Anyways, that's all I had to say. You can continue.
So this dream is one of those dreams where I just wasn't involved, which I have a lot of those. They're usually like my brain trying to come up with plots, character relationships, and stuff. My brain just world building. My last dream... Yes?
Oh, nothing.
My last stream today was a group of young kids who were kind of a part of a show. One girl buried her face in a boy's arm and only reluctantly admits that she likes him. Still, they don't get together yet because she's weird. I vaguely remember this stream. I don't remember it very much. It's not particularly special, frankly.
But this is your dream.
This is a dream that I had, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
In my last stream, I was walking down a street where I live, near where I live, that I'm not going to say out loud, thinking about free association when I received a text that woke me. Yeah, this is sometimes how I get woken up. So I don't remember the stream at all. I think I vaguely remember just thinking about creativity in an abstract sense during a dream, and which is something that I do. So that might as well just have been a real thing.
Y'all are weird.
I don't remember my last stream, but I woke up stressed. Cool. I don't remember my last stream because I was woken up by construction workers. I don't remember being woken up by construction workers, but hey. A dream I had tonight was set in the city in the small town in Spain that I grew up in, except elevated somehow and with different geography. A tube with fire inside was hanging from a mountain. Oh, I remember this. It was a full moon night, and I was running from my grandma, in like quotation marks, who was a witch, I had realized. So it wasn't my real grandma. It was someone who was pretending to be my grandma. I was confused but collected, moving faster than her hammerlock. You know, there's this scene in The Expanse where Bobby tries to get away from the UNN cruiser in like the racing pinnace, the Razorback. And there's this area where they can be hit by missiles and they can't do evasive maneuvers, and that's the hammerlock. That is, I thought about it as that scene as the hammerlock of my witch grandma.
Oh, I thought you meant the Borderlands Hammerlock, but okay.
Yeah,
No,
I was
no.
thinking the same, actually. I was like,
Alistair Hammerlock.
No, as I read this though, I thought, wait, what? My mother, in quotation marks, was with her, somehow a baby. After receiving advice and warnings from my old neighbor, who was a punk rocker, I decided to prepare an ambush. It's pretty good. I really recall this dream because of the strange geography of the thing, because it was a tube with fire inside was hanging from a mountain. That is, it's like I recall it, but I couldn't. That's the best way that I can describe it. You know, like dream scenes where with things are just more feelings than the actual thing that they are.
I'm just in shock.
Are these dreams weird?
They are.
Aren't where dreams usually wear? Like, I don't remember
No.
exactly, but like I think it was 2 nights ago. I dreamt that I had somehow got an afro, and I stood for like an hour staring in the mirror, just touching my hair.
And I'm listening to all of these dreams of yours, and I'm feeling pretty basic. I'm not gonna lie.
You just dream. Yes, woman.
My dreams are pretty basic. Like seriously. It's
Yeah,
just,
my dreams are like you know the cropped car memes I post. Like that's my entire dream. Like just that scene happening in front of me.
I've only
My
got
dream's just
3
like
dreams
me.
I
I get
remember.
up. I grab a sandwich, and then I wake up. That's my dream.
I only got
I
about
remember-
3
I
dreams I remember to be. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, go on, man.
This is my
I've only
dream.
got 3 dreams I remember. One of which I was a member of like the whole Monster House movie thing, and the other 2 involved my dad trying to kill me. So
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
no, dude. The only
That
ones I
is,
remember were like
those are married
traumatizing. Like 2 of them were like sleeping paralysis fucking dreams, which aren't really dreams, I guess. And the other one was just super fucked up. I don't know what the fuck my imagination was doing that night. It was like we were having a barbecue at night or some shit. Like the whole neighborhood was over, and I was just chilling. I was just watching the sky and stuff, and I saw like a plane pass, and then I saw like a piece of the plane fall off it, and it was just falling. And then a big fucking flash happened, and I just saw every single person I saw at that party, and the rest of the night was black.
Damn.
And I think I blew up or some shit. And that was the dream. And literally, like, I think I was just dead for the rest of the dream. There's nothing.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
I used to have this recurring dream when I was a kid. It stopped when I was like 14 or something. But for years, I had the same dream over and over, which is just me, playing in a swing. What the fuck are you laughing? Oh my god!
Since you shaking me, I always have to continue. Go on.
So sad.
Ah!
Oh my god. I can't stop laughing. Fuck you.
Please continue with your dream.
Anyway,
This is my dream. So.
I just kept dreaming I was playing in a swing, and every time I'd reach the peak of that swing, I would just jump and fall straight down a well, like for a shit at a time.
Damn.
And when I hit the bottom, I just wake up, like every time. I was so retarded.
When I was a kid, I had this like not recurring dream, but I had like a circle of dream friends that I had. There were other kids my age that
Power of friendship.
that I knew were also dreaming at the same time, and most of them were German. And usually my job was to rescue them from a witch also. And usually, like, they would have very different plots. And usually, to save them, like, to get to where they were, I would have to, like, nosedive into a surfboard. I remember there's a lot of these dreams that I had when I was a kid.
I'll be honest, Burger, this sounds kind of like a weird-ass version of Dreamcatcher.
I read that in his
I actually
voice.
sometimes have dreams of that same group of people. It's like I couldn't name you any individuals, but I know them when I see them, you know?
I
Yeah.
bet you're all psychics and you're all psionically connected.
That is very interesting. This next dream, actually, was the dream that I remembered, and I thought, hey, this would be a cool thing to do on the 50th Fast Food Thursday. Strap in.
Oh God.
Here we go.
Jeez.
My last dream tonight was mostly a framing device, wherein I was an overweight black gangster boss who engages in human child sacrifice. At one point, I was in a fight with actual fire between containers with cars, throwing water to protect myself to the tune of Happy by, I think, Bruno Mars. You know, the Because I'm Happy, that song. That was playing in the background.
No.
Ultimately, my first step to child sacrifice was to drive a massive nail through a child's chest without killing it, explaining exactly what I was doing so I could get the still living organs. This is also when I woke up from feeling the child's pain.
That's
Okay, General Butt Naked.
I don't know.
Like, damn.
I woke up from that just going, what the fuck just happened? Jesus Christ.
When I am sacrificing children, I activate my spiritual powers fast. God damn it, Burger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
I can say that at least like my dreams might be wild and extreme and weird, but they're not racist.
This stream
Not
is not
racist.
racist. Listen, I was the black guy, okay?
Exactly.
I've never
You're
dreamed of
projecting
being
what
someone
black
else.
people are like,
ever.
you know?
Oh, I do. I dream of being someone else often. I had a lot of interesting dreams, but remember none of them on account of being woken up by the postman. This is written very angrily.
Fuck you, postman.
Okay, this is a very personal dream that I shouldn't reveal. I spent too much time in half sleep and forgot my dreams. Hell yeah.
Classic.
A dream
That's
I
every
had
night.
tonight involved The Vampire Diaries. There was some new girl at the school, and Elena wanted to avoid her turning at all costs, turning into a vampire. I watched The Vampire
Yeah.
Diaries, yes. An older man who later turned out to be Damon's long-lost father figure made her unconscious, and Elena was very obtuse about saving her. She was just extremely dumb about it. It ended with Stephen in his bedroom doing a country boy dance number. That was really the most important part about that dream.
Yeah, so is that the one you shouldn't be revealing on air because you watched Vampire Diaries?
Burger is a homosexual.
Yeah, confirmed.
I actually stopped watching the show when it got bad. No,
Oh,
I
so you
stopped
didn't
watching
watch
it
it.
way after it got bad.
Only things from CW I ever watched were Arrow and Supernatural, and even then, I fell off the Supernatural bandwagon. fast
Holy
as
shit, the
fuck.
newer seasons of Supernatural are so fucking bad.
I don't mean to be a cunt, but like when a show is called Supernatural, I don't know what you're
The
expecting.
first few seasons were so good. Like, the
Really?
first
They
two
were.
seasons were some of the best genuinely some of the best horror television that I've ever seen. And, like, up to season 8 or something, the show was actually good. And then it just became... just the power creep killed that show.
It did.
It was just, oh, like, in the first season... just even talking about a demon was, oh no, a demon? Wow. And then fucking they're tussling with God at some point and they're killing demons left and right just for sport. It's so insane.
So they're basically playing like, is it like they playing D&D, but they reach like level 20?
Yeah,
It's
they
just
just
all
leveled
funny
up to
thing.
level 20, yeah.
Not even that. It's more like World of Darkness with a really shitty GM.
Okay, next one. My final dream tonight started with me trying to write down my last dream, but failing. Elon Musk, whom I had imported from that dream, laughed at me for it.
Of course.
He,
As one does.
he was also Salvia Eric. Eventually, I threw a bottle in frustration. This was a
So
dream
he was
about writing down a dream journal.
both Salvia Eric and Elon Musk at the same time.
Yeah.
How could you try to explain to us how that?
Well,
Could be.
isn't that something that happens where you have a character in a dream and they're like several people at the same time?
Yeah, but I'm just
So what
trying to
they're actually
imagine
dreaming about is a
how
ditto.
those they seem like at very opposite ends of the spectrum. Salvia Eric and Elon
I don't
Musk.
know.
Yeah,
You
but
It's
I'm
some weird dream
trying to
magic.
combine them.
Yeah, they're not combined. They're just the same person. They're both persons at the same time. There is mostly Elon Musk, but he's also Salvia Eric.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Give me shout-outs. Oh.
God damn it, there's tar all over my fucking
Sweet,
hands.
but with a tomboy streak. Tomboy dictator.
All these fucking Kim system memes.
I think it'd be cool.
Oh yeah, they're getting worse and worse. Even Shadman's joining in now.
I want her to become dictator. I really do. I just
But
We need
To
her to
fuck
break the
with
glass
white
ceiling. We need her to break
my
the glass ceiling.
favorite meme is the fact that all this is just Kim Jong Un making a joke. Like he just reported to a random. It's like, hey, I'm from North Korea. Kim's in a vegetative state. I've got evidence, and he's there just laughing with them all. like if I was a dictator like that, I would fucking do that. It'd be funny as fuck. Watch the whole internet lose their fucking minds because you went on holiday for a week.
Okay, next stream. In my last stream tonight, I was at a party with my best friend and her boyfriend, a nerdy party where I was asked to help hack a gaming console. So two people that I knew in high school that I haven't thought about in years, who were like they were best friends, like the super sporty kind of people, but like also they were super nice, and I really liked them. And eventually they became a couple. So they could watch a video that my best friend's boyfriend had already seen. It turned out that I had also seen that video, and it was a Diablo trailer where an ancient ghost ascends into a castle where I was a long-dead soldier sitting at a dining table and was ultimately transformed into a demon after it bit my neck. So I was transformed into a demon. Previously, we were watching Cal Kalinske and someone, what? That sentence doesn't even make sense.
What the fuck?
What sentence?
Someone was my arm? And
Someone
also
was your arm,
as surprised as me. And also, Shoe on Head was my arm.
Oh,
And she was as surprised at me that Kyle Kalinske does pop culture commentary now.
you had Shoe on Head as your arm and you didn't masturbate. What the hell is wrong with you?
No, we were too busy being surprised that Kyle Kalinske does commentary now. Actually, that thing with the chicken looks kind of interesting.
No.
Oh
no,
my god, shut up, bro.
No. Burger,
Said by
I'm
Mr.
gonna find
Nutella
your house.
Spaghetti.
I'm gonna drop a bomb on you.
I made a baked rice and beans yesterday. They came out very good. with like
Nice.
coated with olive oil. So it's really cool. And I made Scottish oat cakes. It's like pancakes but made with oatmeal, and so that you eat them, and the insides have the like creamy oatmeal texture. It's fucking delicious.
Don't you just this
All these
creamy-
anti-fucking isolation fucking protests. I'm like, if I got infected, that's the first place I'd fucking go.
What is this?
At least
Try my best
fucking
to
RN
take many of them down.
Next stream. I dreamt that I broke into a local burger joint in my town that I'm a big fan of to prove that they have a good security system to a friend of mine. But they were also on the Spanish island of Mallorca. A girl with a shotgun was waiting for me, and I said, "You got me." I was arrested by her, and she was friendly about it, as was the police. I was very charismatic, but I still fucked up.
People have shitty dreams.
That's a cool dream, frankly.
Does anyone know what the best method of removing roofing tar from one's skin is?
A flamethrower.
I
Just
don't know
remove the
that. Maybe
arm.
just
Just
rip
remove
off the
the arm.
skin.
Hydrochloric.
Well, I
That would
hope
work,
not,
too.
because my hands are just covered in this shit.
Yeah, brother. I don't know.
Chainsaw.
Like you just put your hands in vinegar, like pure vinegar. That's nice.
Or just pure acid. That'll also.
Yeah, just a gallon of LSD.
Okay.
That'll work.
This stream. I dreamt I was in Australia, boarding a train and then sitting in the crowded compartment, making space for some people's legroom, which they appreciated. Later, I got into a conversation with one of them, an incredibly cute and sweet girl. Malcolm Turnbull was checking tickets. Malcolm Turnbull, by the way, is I think the Prime Minister of Australia?
He's not anymore.
Or the
Ex-Prime
former?
Minister.
Yeah, okay.
Former.
No, that was
Might
already
have fallen.
reposted.
Wait, are they sure that was a dream?
Oh,
That might
dude.
have been
Oh
real.
yeah, the De Blasio is fucking based. I remember seeing that.
Well, I mean, the thing I hate about that whole thing is that he's got a really good reason to do so. I just wish he worded it better.
Nah, dude,
Like,
I want chaos.
I mean, he had every right to do that, because Hasidic Jews are fucking weird.
Well, dude, brother, I live in the second biggest Hasidic Jewish community in the United States, like right outside of one. So, like, yeah, I'm very aware.
Yeah, it's just, he could have worded it better. He could have said something like, religious gatherings instead of specifically saying Jewish, or he could have just said Hasidic Jewish.
No, I love what he said. That it's so fucking funny. My message to the Jewish community and all communities is this simple. The time for warning has passed. I've instructed the NYPD to, and then it just ends. Like, fuck that. That's awesome, dude. Sounds ominous as fuck.
Now, what they do is they pull up their secondary lockers, which is just SS uniforms. All right, boys, we've trained this.
Yeah.
So
I mean, what he's like, De Blasio. Is that Italian or Polish or what?
That's Italian. Ends in a vowel, my
But he
friend.
isn't.
Okay,
It's
of
not his
course.
real actual surname, right? He
No.
has like a regular ass surname, and he changed
Yeah,
it
he
to De
changed it.
Blasio.
Yeah, because he had to be more from New York, you know.
Hey, Anfesh, isn't that the guy from like one of those SCPs or something? That smiling guy?
Oh, I have no idea. I've just
Oh.
I don't know who that is. It
So-
just
while we are on the topic of dreams, I want Burger to watch a video from a long life dream of mine. You will not get copyrighted. Don't worry about it. All right.
No, but it does have titties and dicks in it. So
It does not have anything
Oh
bad.
God, no!
Shut up,
It's even
shut up,
worse.
Shut up!
No.
Fuck's sake, man.
Legit, watch it. You're gonna like it. I swear to goodness. You're gonna like it.
No,
Okay, have you
no
seen the
way.
gameplay?
I
Okay,
swear,
I
it
will.
looks so
will-
good.
I will watch it. I
Yes.
will watch it live on stream right now.
Yes.
Oh, hey, real quick, check out what I picked
Sandro,
up in Kentucky.
they're gonna have multiplayer. We're gonna play that together.
Yes,
out what
we
I
are.
picked up
I,
in
We are
I'm
definitely
trying
gonna
to
play this
turn the
together.
volume down on this so it's not too loud. I have no idea.
Who
The game looks so good,
who wasted their life making this?
Real
Fuck you,
people.
Anfash.
Bad.
This is actually, I think it's only one person working on this.
Only 6 years and it looks this good.
They're probably like halfway done. Best.
Yeah.
Maybe they've finished up the fire region.
No, I know that most of the assets and mechanics are done. But talk to the guy, he's just working on the visuals now, polishing the visuals.
How could you talk to him while his cock was in your mouth?
Shut the fuck up, Anfash.
Dude, you can talk one way talking. Like Sandro has mastered the way of dick sucking. Like, haven't you? If you can't talk while sucking dick, like, what's the point?
Yeah,
This
she's
is
gonna.
genuinely impressive.
See? I told you.
I mean, I don't care about it even the
Oh,
least
fuck you.
bit.
Fuck
will
you.
say-
But I do have to
I-
say it is impressive as hell.
I had a Bionicle game for the game. I don't know.
All the Bionicle games suck.
Like this
Except
looks like something that a AAA studio could produce. In
Exactly.
like way more than 6 years. And this was one dude in 6 years.
Yeah.
Wait, are you watching? I'm not in. I can't see it. Are you watching Stargate or what?
No, he's watching
It's a
Bionicle.
trailer for a Bionicle game.
Quest
And it
for Mountain Dew.
looks good. Like legitimately looks good.
Okay, well, props to him. I mean,
And just.
how does it compare to Stargate?
You guys ever think that Bionicle's a brain parasite and Bionicle never actually existed and we're all just like planet that it does? And some people like the brain parasite fucks with them too much. They become obsessed with it.
The
If
brown
it didn't
toe is
exist,
thick.
they gotta
though.
fuck with my eyes. Because I'm looking at pre-Bionicle, 4 Bionicle in right now. Like
Yeah,
that.
dude.
Dude,
Those
that's
are
how I
the
feel
things.
about. That's how I feel about Scion. I think it's like Scion existed for like a decade and it just went away.
Sandro, I am
Scion,
indeed impressed.
Good.
The Scion
Good.
was like a
I'm
car
glad.
brand. Scion was a car brand made by Toyota to market to kids, but only really old people bought
What?
their cars.
Oh, I
Sorry,
thought,
who
I thought you meant
okay.
Scion as in the
Who-
legendary
who-
kingdom that the Jews want to create.
I was thinking of the League of Legends character. I was like, what?
Who
No,
made
they-
Utah?
cars to
No,
children?
in the U.S. in like the early 2000s, they wanted to tap into the Fast and the Furious frenzy, so they made entire car brands with like tiny little cars, and the only people who bought them were like old people because the cars were really easy to get in and out of because they were designed for Japan.
Nice.
Anyway, next dream.
Yeah.
My last dream was of a bored terrorist blowing up a train. The last compartment included mostly workers, so he tried to coax them into disconnecting and saving themselves.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
I didn't hear what you said.
The last compartment included mostly workers, so he tried to coax them into disconnecting and saving themselves. The bored terrorist who blew up the train.
You
Terrorists
said bored
win.
terrorist. I was expecting him to be there at timetable, just be like, you know what? The plan one, it's to fuck it. I'm bored out of my. I'm just gonna blow up the next fucking train that turns up.
It's like,
This
fuck,
one's
I guess
good.
It's that time of the month.
My final dream tonight was an alternate World War II that happened later and with mechs. It was focused on focused on personal stories with a research focus. There were torpedo-shaped jets and a kind of cargo plane with no wings I had never seen before, used in Spain as an ambulance. Oh, I remember trying to write this down so I could remember what the plane looks like.
That honestly sounds kind of cool.
I'm no expert, but I think that's called an ICBM.
Yeah, it was all just rockets. Yeah, it was like the vague concept of like an actually cool television show or something.
I had a dream with you in it, Burger.
Okay.
We don't have
it-
not safe
it-
work here.
No, the dream was so fucking weird. I was at pool, and I noticed a guy running up to go dive into the pool was Lord Mandalore, like his avatar on YouTube, like with the knight's helmet. And he's just
Yeah.
like in a bathing suit, and I'm just like, oh hey, I know you. Hey, what's up? And he's like, oh hey, what's up? And I'm like, hey, you gotta check this guy out. I think I called you Burger King. And he's like, yeah, cool. And he's like, I don't got time. And he just like went and dived into the pool, and I went back to like where my towel was, and somebody stole my phone.
That's messed up, dude.
And then
call the
I went later on went to go disable the phone, and it was in Italy. It showed my phone's last location was in Italy.
Dude, what the fuck?
That was like literally like. That's the closest you've
Hey.
ever been in my dream, is me trying to plug you to somebody else in the dream.
I mean, I appreciate it. Don't get me wrong.
It's sad when your phone has a better dream than you.
Hey, my favorite. Hey, please subscribe to my favorite YouTuber, Burger King.
Okay, this dream. At one point tonight, so it wasn't my last dream, it was just a dream that I remembered in the morning. While demonstrating a Ben Linus-style self-defense technique, I don't know what the fuck that means, I was offered entry into a lottery for a trip to Alaska. The woman who was holding it had won it originally, but she'd lived there a while and her husband had stolen things. Okay. Don't know why.
I just have dreams of crashing
I
planes.
should keep a dream journal, because it's like if you don't keep a dream journal and you try to recite it to other people, it just sounds boring as fuck.
I'm
Yeah.
sure this also sounds boring as fuck. I
I
don't
mean,
know.
as long as you write it down like right when you wake up, you get the most details. Then you can like
Oh dear God, it's the
form it
Matrix
into-
4.
Oh, sorry. I don't know if that's me or not.
No, you're fine.
I'm
You're
just-
just a bit quiet.
Oh, I just
And back up the ladder.
So did you call yourself Floyd fucking Tesseract, dude?
Yeah.
Jesus fuck.
Goody.
Okay. My last dream today was of some heavy family drama with characters from Shameless and Season 1 of American Horror Story. It was set in an urbanized borderlands, and presumably the video game, and I would chew on and gargle shoelaces in order to be able to spew them as projectiles.
Dude, that's your special ability. Like, you're fucking dude, next playable character for that stream. This is like playtest. It's like Burger comes around, he clicks one of his abilities, like spits out different shit. Like, one of the abilities is shoelaces. Like, what would the other two things be? Like fucking beans? Beans and beer? I don't know.
Nutella noodles.
Oh God, no. Cursed.
Hell yeah. Oh, this is actually 2 for 1. In my last stream, I was with a crowd of young people that I knew, some kind of school probably. Actually, I didn't know any of these people, I just knew them in my dream. Passing through the turnstiles at a train station, but they were also Artbreeder, you know, the website. I changed a bit, but so did a rival of mine. Okay, like, I changed myself because we were all Artbreeder. So did a rival of mine who was the highest ranked martial artist of some kind, though not necessarily the best. Yeah, that was an important distinction. He had the highest rank, but he wasn't the best. Somebody laughed at him after his transformation and called him gay.
Buri buri prisoner!
And he was mad at me for it. Through a hypothetical, I managed to fight him on even footing freestyle. What do you mean a hypothetical?
You're just
know,
like,
it
you like,
sounds-
it's like
yeah.
you're about to fight him, and you're like, For a few seconds, you're just in your mind. Yeah, I'm gonna do that move and that move.
Yeah,
That
like
move.
Last
Oh, I
time.
think that
Before-
might actually be how that worked. Yes.
And before you realize, and you don't even realize you've been already knocked down. You're like on the hospital for it. Yeah, I'll take him. He's gonna do a kick, and I'm gonna grab his leg. And
Last time on Dragon Ball Z, Germany.
Oh, this one's good. This one, I
Actually,
think,
how the
this
voice
one
breaking
I
is.
wrote down. This one is actually like a cool idea. I call this my Neil Gaiman dream.
Oh goodness.
In another dream,
Oh,
I
nice.
was this American street artist kid, gay and fat, who it seemed would always draw penises, but never actually do so. Understanding
already
his
doing
art,
that.
understanding his art would permanently take away your ability to live in London unless you were born there.
So
What?
you basically dreamed of being me.
I feel like half of these dreams, Burger, are just you coming up with stands for you to use as a JoJo character.
Yes.
Hey,
Yes.
so this isn't something I've had happen to me in dreams, but has anybody ever had like a reoccurring character show up
Oh,
in
yeah.
dreams? But,
Yes.
I mean, that was not a real person.
Yeah.
Yes.
No.
That
I don't
existed-
know. Aside from
Like-
like that group of people, which maybe would count as one character, not really.
Yeah, because I had a friend of mine who had a reoccurring zombie show up in his dreams, and the dude's name was like Zombie Bo, and if you ever called him Zombie Joe, he'd go into a rampage.
No, but what I like about this dream is that understanding the guy's art would take away your ability to live in London. That is
So like,
That is literally a JoJo stand. I'm not kidding.
that has serious Neil Gaiman energy, I feel like.
that's me.
wait,
Yeah.
so
what's
can
that
he
That's
like
how
be
they
at the
make the
airport or what?
Nah,
what
that's some
happens?
Rocky energy.
No, you
dude.
can
Exactly,
go
that's
to
what
London,
Rocky
you
is.
just can't like move there and live there.
Exactly.
Also, like
You
your
can only be a
application for
tourist.
residency just-
Unless-
Oh, okay.
Unless you were born there. No, you can't be in an apartment, you can't like live there. You can maybe be a tourist in a hotel. But unless you were born there, in which case if you understand the guy's art, you can still live in London.
That's such
I
an
swear,
unusual curse.
I swear, Burger. If it weren't for the fact you hate animation, we would have bullied you into watching JoJo by now.
Yeah.
I have
Nah.
every time I think about watching anime, I think about watching JoJo. Because
JoJo's
I-
on Netflix now.
Is it on Netflix?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my god, my
Yeah.
trypophobia. Take that shit away. Oh my
Oh,
Oh,
god.
Jesus,
Oh my
that is
god.
disgusting.
Oh
Holy
my god. I am going to
fucking
kill
balls,
myself.
dude. Holy
Fuck
shit.
Kill yourself. Oh my god.
Holy
Oh,
fuck.
That is massaging me in the brain in all the wrong ways.
That is
Danny
a cursed
Toledo,
photo.
man.
Oh my
I am
god.
so glad that I
God.
cannot look at images right now.
Kill yourself.
Malarkey
No, I'm really
detected.
glad that I burned my trigger out for trypophobia.
Kill yourself, fat
Like,
trash.
I looked at so many of these pictures that like it doesn't do anything. It's like my grotesque fear of that is just burnt out.
I thought it was funny.
these like
That's why
whole
I
patterns
posted it.
disconcerting as well. I don't know if I would call it a phobia. I would just find them disconcerting.
It's not a phobia is like an overwhelming like terrific
A phobia
fear or
is
something.
like it has to impair your life in some way.
Yeah,
That's
no,
referred
this
to as
no,
a
being
Yes, it does.
being disgusted by like clusters of holes is completely normal. That's just like being human. Because
Alright,
clusters of holes are like
Okay, so then
I
I'm not.
thought-
I don't
I
have
thought-
like the
Fetish-
phobia.
fetish-
I thought it was a funny meme, guys.
it's
That's
not.
why I
Fuck you,
posted it.
Anfash. Kill yourself. Throw yourself off a
I
bridge.
just thought it was a funny meme.
Fucking.
No, being grossed out by something isn't like a phobia. That's just being human.
Yeah,
Oh
but there's
my
people who have that like more severely, I guess.
Dude,
Yeah,
I
well,
cannot.
it's
Oh my
like-
god. I will throw. I'm not
Like
kidding. I will throw
no,
up.
like people who can't like be around like spiders, who just like if they see a spider and they just get overwhelming terror, that's
So
a
half
phobia.
of white women on the planet.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
God,
The ones who aren't.
But there's a
Karens.
baseline response which is normal. Like you see a snake, you're like, oh fuck, and then there's seeing a snake and literally crying yourself to death. Right?
Yeah.
There's a very big difference between a natural
like-
response of fear
Yeah,
and then an
it's-
overwhelming response to fear.
Yeah, if you like throw a baby at a spider to get away from it, then you would do it.
Stop.
What?
What the hell?
This somehow
my-
looks more natural, though, than
Yeah.
than it's swapped around. This just looks like this is how it's supposed to actually be,
How?
instead of the way that it
How?
is.
Oh my goodness! How is that possible?
That's like the only way to make Trump look happy. Superimpose Zoom's face on him.
Oh my god!
I keep
Oh, that
seeing
one's
him
less
as the
funny.
fucking antagonist from Avatar. That military guy.
Oh,
Was
sorry.
I?
Okay.
Iroh?
Speaking of phobias, I have the next dream. Jesus.
That was created by an AI. Just so you know.
My last dream switched back and forth between me hunting a giant orange ant in my ant, as in like the creepy crawly, like the with the not the woman, in my apartment that I was terrified of, and being the commander of a high-tech airship on a clandestine mission, trying to keep the crew together. I only remember the ant part, unfortunately.
They like call into your personal vid screen. It's just you wrestling with a giant orange ant, and they just go like, "Well, we're fucked."
We watched the World Championship of some pseudo football game, and the American team was mostly composed of celebrities and just memeing. In the bar we
I
were
would
in,
watch that.
in the bar we were in, a teacher of mine played a hand tennis game and asked me for advice. What? This is a great one. Very short dream. I dreamt about putting together a table justifying UBI for everyone in this crisis.
Then you
By
made a
which I
video
mean,
about
it wasn't me that it was justifying the UBI. It was the table that would have done
Oh.
that
Oh,
if
What?
finished.
as one
Like
does.
Okay, Burger, when you say table, do you mean as in you were making a formula, or were you making like a literal table?
No,
that
no,
would
like
speak?
a table that you could eat food on and shit.
And it would speak and justify UBI.
No, no, no,
better
no, no.
than any
Just
of us.
the existence of the table would justify UBI for everyone. It was just,
Okay.
it was just a very special table.
This sounds like the madness of the guy who was behind the Coney 2020 or 20.
No, that sounds like another stand.
This is not Superfly, dude. We're not in Mario.
Come out, table! Muda, 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 muda.
Okay, I may
Oh
actually have
no, we
to-
got him on one.
Oh man. And then you fight capitalists with it. That's what you do with that stand.
I could actually go to the penny at the Reeperbahn in Hamburg because I have a ticket to go to Hamburg. Anyway,
Ooh.
a dream tonight was me being able to operate a workshop capable of smithing things to perfection. Okay.
Nice.
Dude, that's like my life's dream right there.
This is a long one. It might be a weird one.
It might. That means it is.
My final dream tonight started at a school with a blonde boy who wanted to be in a relationship. The girl he was dating said they had to be together a year after their first kiss, so he ran off to another girl he had kissed some weeks before this. Oh, this is a little boy. This isn't like a...
Hmm.
Oh
Okay.
boy.
Before this one. This fact was not known to the girl, and the person who told it to her got their payment from someone else. What? This girl had little boxes with dials around her neck that could be used to buy sodas consisting of any combination of 3 stacked cans. Oh, yes! Oh, I remember this! Basically, right, you would, I'll finish reading the dream first. I got myself one. The technology was developed by a big chef, and he had to shake the cans so they would mix and carbonize. After I was done with my drink, I went back to the hotel, but there was a guy with a mask and a fucked up eye in the lobby warning me not to go up. I heeded this warning and left, but he followed me. In the street, a black guy with a bike passed by and I asked him for help. But all he did was join the Polish guy, which was the guy with the fucked up eye, leading me to believe they were working together. They ran alongside me for the longest time.
You stole my bike.
No, it was his bike. It was not my bike.
Oh,
This week on the stream, Burger defies racial stereotypes.
So no,
God.
but here's the
yeah, you sound like you've been living in Paris like for the entirety of the 20s, and you're just so like your brain has been blasted by absinthe. And this is like your prose that you write now.
But the sodas thing is so cool. So basically, through this, you would get like they weren't like if. So the 3 cans combined would be the size of a normal soda can, right?
Yeah.
So you would get these 3 elements, like basically 3 flavor elements, and so you could come up with your own sodas, and you would just stack them together and shake them, and basically the spaces between the soda cans. This would be a very cool item for a Numenera game. And then if you shake it, it would combine and actually create the soda. And that was just so cool to me when I woke up.
No, that's like legitimately cool.
Oh my god.
Jesus fucking Christ,
That's
dude.
my next Halloween costume. I don't care.
Holy shit!
Oh,
That is
God.
perfect in every way.
What
Thank you for providing me those.
the fuck are you posting, Anfash? Jesus! What is this shit?
Those are end-fascist dreams. Obviously.
Yeah.
Uh,
Dude, I just.
I'm gonna have to mute myself when I go through the fucking studio chat, aren't I?
You might, yeah.
Yeah, probably.
No, you don't have to mute yourself. I can't post anything that'll get the stream down, so it's all fine, brother. It's all fine. Everything I'm posting is fine.
Okay, next stream.
Because I think he's lying.
No.
In my last stream, I was a guest in some rich people mansion in the town that I spent my teenage years in, and while the hosts liked me a lot, some of the other guests didn't. There was a meal at the end of the day, and when I went to take a shower afterwards in my room in the family wing, another member of the family came to tell me something. I was distracted by colorful explosions in the corridor behind me, which they ignored, but the youngest sister was enjoying. To protect her, I was sent as Zero from Borderlands
Oh my god.
through a rocky zoo landscape patrolled by robots to hide the evidence of the property. So the evidence that she was playing with those colorful explosions. So I think the guests or the parents wouldn't find out. I don't even know.
I would not like to spend a night in your head to know how it works.
It's not normal.
I don't know, man.
I did have
Like
a
I
cool
said-
and interesting dream, but I forgot on account of the doorbell. Yes. You said something?
I said, I don't know, because, again, my dreams are pretty basic. I have no idea if this is normal or not.
My sleep was light but firm tonight. I remember dreaming something about a light journey and blood, always aware of being on my bed. I woke up with a Critical Role theme stuck in my head. Yeah. well,
Hey, it
that's-
rhymes.
It's pretty basic. Stop talking about politics on George. Also, what the fuck is ISIS did, dude? What?
The friend of mine who did that.
Jesus Christ. I waited too long to write down my dreams, but there were some nightmares. At the end, I was running around a lake just trying to eat an apple without being labeled a pervert.
What?
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 I don't remember this, but why? Apparently, eating an apple while running around the lake gets you labeled a pervert.
No, that makes sense.
Maybe it's some subliminal imaging for the Scarlet Letter or some shit.
Is this actually fucking real? The Wario tablet?
Yeah, take the Mario pill.
Which is like that's a lot of fucking MDMA, dude.
Yeah, that's
Holy
a lot.
shit, dude. Jesus fuck.
That's a lot.
Holy
Of course,
shit.
you gotta do it
Taking the
if you want
Wario.
to become Wario.
Can you overdose on MDMA? Is that possible?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
you
dude.
can.
Definitely.
Dude, it's Molly. You can overdose on fucking Molly.
Yeah.
I know my dream involved Photoshop somehow. Okay. There was also wait. In my dream, I really wanted to sell. In my dream, I really wanted some donuts.
I could go for some donuts now.
Yeah, dude. Same.
Different dream from the same
I
night.
could go for some fucking Gatorade. I'm hot as shit.
Yeah, you are.
There was also the dream where I was looking out my bedroom window in the night, and a strange alien creature, reminiscent of a fox but with yellow-blue fur and bright blue eyes with no pupils, was playing outside. There were two women in my room with me who also began to look at it. I made it come to the window, but neither of them were photographing it with their phones. What? Eventually it disappeared and then moved through the glass wearing a blue suit capable of displacing matter. It also turned out it was actually a woman, in brackets, black, whom I had met years earlier on Mallorca, who was a secret agent.
Okay, very important. Was it brackets or was it these types of brackets?
No, it was just
Well,
one
now-
set of brackets.
Well, now we know. Well, we know.
You know,
Burgers,
Burger, for someone who doesn't like anime, your dreams sound like they come from fucking anime.
Exactly.
I was about to say. Now we know Burger's Sonic OC.
I remember
my
being
God.
terrified. I remember being certain that this, because I was scared of this creature, but I was like, okay, it's outside and it can't get in. It was like bumping up against the window. And then when it suddenly had the suit on that allowed it to displace matter and come through my window, I was fucking terrified. It was like, Jesus fuck, this thing is gonna kill me. This is a wild animal wearing a suit. But no, it was just a person that I knew.
It was just secret agent.
It was just a furry.
Yeah.
It was just a Moroccan spy infiltrating like the Spanish government.
In my dream, I was on a class trip to a South American country in crisis. Okay. We were eating traditional food and I was translating one of the native grandmas, who was complaining that she would like to go back to more international dishes, but the ingredients just aren't there. There was also a young woman with rainbow skin who, though born there, had trouble becoming a citizen of the country. Her father was Mallorcan and a separatist running a radio station. He had been granted citizenship after giving part of his rainbow skin. He disagrees that this should have been required, but also will not vouch for his daughter unless she does the same. I remember the location of this. It was like a social gathering. It was in the mountains somewhere, and there were like banderoles overhead, and we were eating food. Yeah, and somehow
Maybe
the rainbow
Peru.
skin was essential to citizenship. If you were a foreigner.
This sounds like Peru.
It kind of does, yeah.
Yeah, it does. It sounds like Incan or something. So yeah, definitely Peru or Bolivia.
Yeah, Bolivia is like has that crazy ass flag, which is like a bunch of different colored squares, while the super LGBT flag is the flag of Cusco in Peru.
Yeah.
This is a great one. My dreams were mostly nightmares, and though there was some cool stuff, I do not wish to revisit them. Oh, but yeah.
I was about to say the worst nightmare I have is the one where I can't run, where a monster's chasing me. I can't run away, but the monster can't catch me. I can't run away, but it's just the constant panic of trying to run away.
The worst one I had is I ended up waking up in Walking Warrior's bed.
What? Fuck you.
First one I had
I was
was,
distracted. You waited until I was distracted to say this.
and first one I had was I was in my house when I was like younger, and there was a river running through my house, and my dad would keep popping up in these dark corners, dragging me into them. I would die, and then I'd respawn somewhere else in the house, and he'd still be hunting me in those fucking
Oh,
corners.
damn. Also, next stream, after the nightmares, I do not remember my dreams, but I slept well. And some people, like for instance you, Sandro, will know a very specific thing that happened in between these 2 days. Something that I finally did. But let's not talk about it further. My last stream was a weird mix of Borderlands and Mass Effect, wherein my party was stuck in a sewer. Handsome Jack was using a Torg playing card as a bookmark, as he flooded the place with acid, mocking my engineer for being too incompetent to save us, even though he did by navigating a maze. There was also a bit about me getting salmon-flavored ice cream sandwiches with while all the stores were closing.
That sounds like a fucking Borderlands side quest, not gonna lie.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like
it does.
the main quest, but in between you do the side quest.
Wednesday, what the fuck? Isn't there, what is it? Yeah. Okay, this is a major, not really a spoiler for Borderlands 3, but
I haven't played it all the way through yet.
no, this is on Meridian City.
Okay.
There's like they're trying to hack into a computer, and it's, you know, he had a password, and he's like, you know, my favorite ice cream. It's like, fuck, what's this guy's favorite ice cream? You know, it just starts ramming up like random fucking shit. And the flavor that wins is chocolate dill pickle.
I remember this. Holy shit! I might have to make that.
No.
Yes.
I
Burger, you cursed
I
the food
could
chat
make. I
already.
know how to make that. I could make that.
Burger, you've cursed the food chat enough. No.
Expedition.
I could make that. I have the skills. We have the technology.
Burger, you will get banned from the food chat even though it's on the server.
Hey, Burger, do this instead.
But you're allowed to do it at one condition.
Yeah.
That condition is that you make the Bionicle chat not safe for work.
Hey.
I might take you up on
Ooh.
that offer.
Hey, no. I will quit. I will quit.
Also, maple blueberry beef patties look kind of interesting. That is exactly the face that I made.
Well, you know, I said that's probably eatable because like, what's it called? Fuck, lingonberry. I think it's lingonberry in English. It's really good on like anything that's meaty. So, blueberry can probably work as well. It's lingonberry.
Okay.
Lingonberry reminds me a lot of
lingonberry.
cranberries. Like cranberries go really good with savory stuff as well.
Next
Well, the
stream.
thing about lingonberry
Oh.
is more traditionally used in
Oh,
Norway.
gosh.
It's
Yeah.
like, I just have this jar, just mashed up dingleberries. I anything that's meat, like a lot of meat, you know, add that shit on. Amazing.
For a second there, I thought you said dingleberries.
Dingle bells.
One of my dreams tonight was a live-action RPG session that I was GMing, where I had to arbitrate a rules question. Somebody wanted to do double the AoE spread at half the damage for an electrical discharge, and I allowed it. Somebody else complained because it was not rules as written. Yeah, that's basically how this shit works. I do not recall my dreams for lying awake too long, but I do know they were cool and somehow gamified. My last dream today ended in a sad mechanical revelation where somebody's father died. I do not remember any dreams, but I remember one where I was subconscious, where my subconscious thought of me as handsome. Cool. In one dream tonight, I was Davis McAlery from Treme, the television show, holding a UBI charity. UVA is a recurring theme in my dreams. Holding a UBI charity event for black people in a stadium and not understanding why this offended their pride. Later, the Star Wars transport ship I was piloting, was being attacked by a mining laser, and I didn't know what to do.
So you were piloting the Millennium Falcon.
No, it wasn't just a transport ship. It was.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm like as like a Star Wars transport pilot. In my last trip tonight, I went to Mallorca trying to watch a Serdar Somuncu documentary at an acceptable volume. I was in an airplane, yeah. Serdar Somuncu, by the way, is a German comedian. After arriving, my grandparents and my older sister, which I do not have, helped me move my bags through Palma. I waited a while before I pointed out that my grandfather was dead, which made him and the bag he was pushing disappear from reality. We then went into a kind of store run by a Spanish friend I had not seen in years. We hugged and he went to get me a fish snack. In the meantime, I asked one of his sisters where the bathroom was due to excessive salivation. The girl went through a low sliding door into a half basement, and she was kind of interesting but scary. She went to the back and down a short stairwell. I wasn't sure whether I should follow. She came back with a black and red plush dice, leaving me confused. I remember that this basement had like it was a very large basement and very poorly lit, and they had like a couch area and weird posters in the background. And she was getting me those dice to help with my salivation, I think.
You haven't seen this much.
Why else would you buy those?
I was just laughing at what Cheese posted.
Don't you like? This is what we call gamer rage.
Good job. You blew up the rarest car in the game. I hope the clan gets you. Okay.
This is a very personal dream.
Oh.
Well, that's why I'm not reading it.
Oh. Fuck.
My final dream tonight had me working in a kind of call center where I manually handled customers at a desk. Yeah. A friend of mine showed up as a joke, dressed in a Hawaiian shirt, pretending to be one of those Death to America guys. In the end, I had proven myself, and I was left with the manager when the place was assaulted by two guys, one of whom had 3 revolvers, all loaded with 1 bullet. And by which I mean 1 bullet collectively between the 3 of them. I managed to disarm the first 2, but the third, which he claimed to be the size of a heart, almost got me. My manager was standing behind them with her own gun, and I ran away to call the cops. Okay.
See?
That's the end.
Yeah. My final dream turned weird. Okay. It was an alternate version of my apartment with a storm raging outside, sleeping while listening to some Italian musicians singing about Brazil. I woke to find the outside bright but early, checking my PC to see it was actually only 2:30 in the morning. How did I write that this was weird, considering all the other dreams that I've had?
Well, I mean, you were half awake, so.
That is true.
You do some pretty weird stuff when you're half awake. What's with all these Uno memes?
I like them.
I mean, they're amusing.
I guess Seaver can't count. You can only count to 1 in Spanish. So, you know.
My final dream involved characters from The Expanse. Amos had separated from the crew, but when Holden came back to the salvager they all stayed on for a while with Tiny Tina, he appreciated it. The cockpit had invisible equipment which looked like standard PCs.
Wait, is it grown-up Tiny Tina, or is it Tiny Tina?
No, it was Tiny Tina. It wasn't Tina.
Okay. Damn it. I tapped that. What?
There was a lot of dreams and a lot going on in my last one, but essentially I was in some kind of youth home / music gulag with various other characters, including Beast, with whom I ended up running away. So Beast showed up in a dream of mine. At some point or in another dream, I was a musician playing a gig even though the police was looking for me. A lot of music dreams. I think that was while I was watching Treme. The last thing I remember from my final dream was that I had been given a statue that could hide poison, which I used to smuggle it on the train on Michael Jackson's birthday. I transported it inside a violin bag case, and for some reason, it was a truly heinous thing to do. I'm not sure if it was just the act itself was heinous, or because maybe it was heinous because it was Michael Jackson's birthday. But either way, it was very heinous.
Hey, Bert, what's your opinion on the whole Michael Jackson thing? Did he do it or no?
I genuinely could tell you. But for the memes, absolutely, he diddled them kids.
Oh, for the memes, absolutely. The memes are always fantastic.
I have not looked into it enough to actually have an opinion on it that is, like, valid. And I don't think I ever will.
I mean...
I remember
yeah,
my
dude,
grandma
furthest...
I remember Michael Jackson being how I got introduced to child molesters. Because...
Oh my goodness.
I remember this footage of him, like, being... in like on a hotel balcony. I was a kid at that point. He was like, it was news footage of him on a hotel balcony holding up a toddler. And my grandmother told me that that was because he diddled them. And I knew of Michael Jackson and that he was a musician.
I mean, the furthest I've gotten into the whole thing was Razor Fist defense of the guy, but you know, I mean, it's Razor Fist. So.
That's how I got introduced to child molestation as a concept when I was a child. The postman woke me up, so I don't remember any of my dreams. Okay.
That's weird that you got introduced to it that way. I just went to Catholic school.
Nice.
Yeah, the Catholic boys' home came later. In my last dream tonight, I was trying to warn relatives of goblin suicide bombers around Christmas, but had to be careful as, though I had evidence, there was a risk of me being killed beforehand, and nobody trusted me. Pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
Goblin suicide bombers.
Goblin Slayer. Then that guy appears. I don't know.
My last
Only
dream
good
involved
goblins.
a girl that I had a crush on many, many years ago, but was mainly about a medieval fantasy RPG plot where I stole the quest giver, an elderly lord, with his throne and returned him via the castle elevator. And I remember stealing him because I thought I was supposed to. And then when I realized I wasn't supposed to, they just put him back.
And you became a hero.
Basically, yeah. My last dream tonight was a jumbled mess, but it included me trying to impress a girl in a battle royale that was taking place in a supermarket and where we all pretended to have powers like kids do. I remember this dream. Oh, this was like 2 days ago.
Yeah, I was asking. This was during quarantine, right?
Yeah, it was basically, Yeah, I remember this. You know how when you kid and like you hold up your hands like I'm zapping you with laser energy. It was that, but we were all adults, and it was a death match. So
cool.
yeah.
Wait, was everyone doing it?
Yeah. Everyone
Even
was
the
In a
cashiers.
battle royale?
It was weird shit.
That sounds like a really good game, honestly. I would play the crap out of that.
My last stream tonight was very Numenera heavy and was about how to acquire some Nordic weapon from a queen when I was woken up by incessant hammering from upstairs. Fuck! Okay. This is the dream I had tonight. And I do not remember it. My last dream tonight featured the background noise of Kev from Shameless trying to keep his options open for a sex change operation, but V not wanting that because she prefers him this way. I was in a shipping container out on the coast, exploring what it was like to have a vagina. What? Previously, I was a staff sergeant fetching the best marksman in the military for a ceremony. He shot at me from a distance, but didn't hit, which I was aware was his intention, but it was still scary. Ultimately, he was going to join an ensemble cast of like characters this was his origin story. His mother was with him, happy to be there, but making clear that she would not explain why she brought him. Just being very specific about that she wouldn't explain why she brought him. Yeah, that was what I dreamt tonight. To this morning. I have an old dream journal from years ago. It might still be in English. I'm gonna try. It still has a few entries. No, it's in German. I can't read this because I would have to try.
Man,
yes,
these dream journals. Sorry, but these dream journals, having you read them makes me want to write down all those times. I almost have. Anyways, continue.
This shit is great. This dream journal shit. It's one of the best decisions I ever made. Because there's so much weird fucking shit in my dreams.
Yeah.
When did you start doing this?
Like 2 months ago.
Uh-huh.
And I already have this many dreams.
That's freaking great, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of want to do it, but I feel like I never remember my dreams. So
the more you do it, the more you remember your dreams.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
And that actually works. I remember my ex used to keep a dream journal, and she would frequently have nightmares, and at some point she stopped keeping it as a test, and she wouldn't remember her dreams as much, and so she wouldn't get fucked up by the nightmares that she had every night because she couldn't remember them when she woke up. So that was pretty cool.
Modern problems require modern solutions.
But then, I mean, she did get super fucked up by nightmares, so...
Oof.
Yeah, that was pretty messed up. If I had that, it would be very bad.
Ah, fuck.
Sounds like someone just died.
No, I kind of hurt myself going up the ladder.
Oof.
Why are you fucking with a ladder right now?
Because I'm going up and down on a roof trying to get a bunch of shit off it.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
He was being an artiste.
I wish, more like a construction worker.
More like
I'm alright.
a person who's on roofs.
Nobody.
Ah.
Just bumped against the wall, that's all. Nah, sorry, I have a problem with thinking out loud, you know?
You liar.
Yeah, basically, Denise told me when I was done up here, just get everything off the roof and come and let you know when I was heading out. I'm almost done.
I agree. This is a thing that I'm seeing on Twitter right now, and I'm going to read it out loud because it's so fucking...
Yeah, sorry for scaring you like that.
No problem, man. I'm not scared.
I'm not scared as well.
Of course.
I'm a little frightened, but, you know.
Oh, this is literally my classes right now. Kill myself.
Female anus too close to vagina. That's the name of this post. Hi. I've been with a few women in my life, and one thing I've noticed is that the female anus is incredibly close to the vagina. In fact, they're barely an inch apart. I'm not sure about other guys, but doesn't this disturb you? It feels like a design flaw in women, actually. Like they're supposed to be so feminine and beautiful, yet this ghastly little oversight is ruining everything. Somehow, it feels to me that women should be more aware of this flaw, and it should affect their confidence. Whenever I see a whenever I see a so-called beautiful woman walking down the street, so carefree, thinking she's all that, I just remember her anus is only 1 inch away from her pussy, and laugh her into oblivion. Women, please accept that they're too close together. Let it negatively affect your confidence, and so make yourselves more readily available sexually as a result. After all,
Of course.
we're having to sleep with a creature whose anus is only 1 inch away from the vagina. You should not make this difficult. It's unappetizing enough as it is. We're doing you a favor.
What?
Men, do not let women forget this flaw. And do not forgive them for it. Remind them of it constantly, lest they get inflated egos and think they're all that. They're just too close together. I'm
Just
sorry.
on my way out the door. Need anything before I go? Cool.
What the fuck did I
yeah.
just read?
All right. See you around.
Holy shit! I have to retweet this. Oh my god!
Please
This.
do, and I'll do the same.
Oh my fucking god! What the fuck was that? This was weirder than
boy.
all of my dreams combined.
Oh my goodness.
What the
My good-
fuck? Jesus Christ.
Posted that?
That was certainly something.
Some guy on Reddit, I don't know. I'm gonna get my peanut brittle for a second.
All right.
I need a piece of peanut brittle, which will be terrible on stream because it's sticky as fuck. And it sounds horrible when I
And I am finally free from working.
Yay.
I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna relax. I'm gonna take a shower, and I'm gonna drink some goddamn beer.
Heck yeah, brothers.
Yeah, I think it's that one beer that like I think C2R and Anfish are arguing about whether or not it's good. It's that Big Bad Baptist Imperial Stout I got. Did you ever see that one when I threw it up on Foodberg?
I'm not sure. No, I didn't hear like most of what you said because I was getting myself
Oh, it's a beer that I got when I was out with my girlfriend the other day. It's called the Big Bad Baptist Imperial Stout. It's just a normal stout. It's an imperial stout that they age in a whiskey barrel with coffee and cacao nibs.
That seems pretty cool.
Yeah, dude, I had one the other day, and dude, like legit, it tastes like an Irish coffee. Not like as in Irish coffee flavored beer, but like an Irish coffee.
There is something I do like is chocolate stouts. Really like nice, dark, hearty, maybe even a bit bitter stouts with this really good chocolate. Like stouts in general, I feel like are the best beer for sweet flavors.
Dude, milk stouts are the fucking shit.
I've never had a milk stout.
I had this one from a company in LA called the Belching Beaver, and it's a milk stout brewed with peanuts. So it tastes like peanut butter.
Interesting.
I know someone who had a peanut butter chocolate beer once. Yeah, and this peanut, I'm 100% I'm gonna lose a tooth on some part of this at some point.
Oh yeah, is Anfash still in the chat by the by?
No.
No.
Ah,
Yeah.
damn.
A bunch of people left.
Yeah, I didn't even hear half of them go away.
Yeah.
Man, is the stream just over or?
I mean, you know, dreams are not that interesting.
I don't know. I'm having a good time.
So what
Maybe it
what
was
is
just
your psychological opinion on my dreams?
You're talking to me?
Yeah, I'm talking to you, Sandro.
Okay, good.
Okay, sorry, I was distracted. Seriously, repeat your question.
So, what is your psychological opinion on my dreams?
So first of all, I didn't have classes on psychoanalysis. Okay, I don't really know
Hold
how
on.
to psychoanalyze dreams.
You need to do this with the Jordan Peterson voice.
Oh wait. So I didn't really take the classes where they teach you how to analyze people's brains while they sleep, which is also called dreams. I can't do this.
Okay.
I can't hear myself. Okay, hold on.
You didn't do Freud, the most prestigious of researchers?
What, sorry?
You didn't do Freud, the most prestigious of
No, we
researchers?
did. Obviously, we talked about that, but it's like we didn't get deep into it, right? Because I'm on the forensics masters, right? But my opinion is your brain is fucked up.
I mean, yeah.
Seriously
Thanks.
though, I am not of the opinion that dreams mean that much.
No, me neither.
It's just you go about your day. There's a bunch of random stimuli thrown at you, and that's just your brain processing everything, and it mixes it all up into some fucking soup.
I
and
do
then you
find
get
them
weird
funny
shit
and
like
useful,
this.
though.
Nah.
I cannot begin to tell you the amount of times that I had an idea because of a dream.
Yeah, exactly.
Like many times that happens. But most of the times I'm just like, what the fuck was that? And I instantly forget about it. But I don't exactly write down my dreams, but I do keep a journal next to me, just in case I dream something useful, and then I can write it down. I don't know. But
Son of a bitch.
oof.
Fucking hair tie snapped.
Oof.
Jesus, dude, whatever you're doing, it sounds pretty tough.
First of all, like I didn't realize. Are you working?
Was.
is
I
right.
got out of work about like 2 minutes ago.
Okay, so you were on stream while you were working.
Yeah, like you know that whole bit where I was kind of like monologuing through the chat, but
Yeah.
it sounded like, yeah, that was me talking to my boss because when I accidentally like hit a wall going up the ladder, I accidentally like forgot I was on the stream. And I'm like, fuck. Then I mentioned what happened. I went up the ladder, was gonna go back down, and I see like one of my supervisors at the bottom of the ladder, and she's like, "Is there somebody up there with you?" And I'm like, "Fuck."
but what do you do though?
I work at an outdoor furniture store, and right now they just got me on under the table. But what I mostly do is what they're mainly having me do is just basically cleaning and maintenance. So
Okay, got it. I was just so confused. I was like,
Wait, you were confused by that? I was fully aware that he was...
I was like, who the fuck is he talking to?
Are you
I thought no, I'm not. I thought he was talking. I wish I was. Fucking weed ran out like 2 weeks into quarantine.
Damn, I still have some cookies, but I'm trying to save them. Actually, I'm just
If
not
I did
finding the
weed,
time to fucking get high.
if I did weed, my girl would leave me. So
That is messed up, my man.
That is
she
actually
got
messed up.
raised by boomers, dude. She can't really get along with that whole thing.
But
Man,
boomers who
boomers
smoked weed or
freaking
boomers
stink.
who didn't smoke weed?
Republican
My
boomers.
parents. My mom's a boomer and she smokes weed with me. I don't
Republican NorCal rich boomers.
know. Okay, that explains it.
I feel like even they
sounds
would
awful.
smoke weed.
Wait, what?
Yeah, her
Like,
dad's
no
kind
thanks.
of a bitch.
Yeah. Well, thank you everyone very much for watching this very special episode, I guess.
You're welcome.
It was certainly interesting.
Yeah,
I enjoyed being
might,
on it.
I might do the dream journal thing at some point again in the future.
Next time, I'll actually write down what you're talking about, and I'll take a look at it, come up with some bullshit, and then read it on Jordan Peterson's voice.
That would be pretty
Yes.
cool. If
Okay,
you did that would be pretty advanced.
Next time, I wasn't expecting to come here and people.
Yeah, I'm not.
Be talking about the
I'll
dream.
warn you. I'll warn you when it happens.
Good, good.
Suck
All
it.
right, time to jaywalk and hope I don't die.
You know what? I'm gonna try and watch JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. How about
Oh my
Oh
god.
Yeah,
my
brother.
god, we got him to
You will
do it.
not regret this. Okay?
Italian
You will
food.
not.
Italian food.
You will
And
not.
dude, I don't care what people tell you.
Chocolata.
Start from part 1.
Yes,
with
start
Hands
from
in
part
Blood.
1.
Start with-
What other part would I start with?
A lot of people tell you to ignore part 1 and 2 and just start on 3, which is retarded because you need
Yeah.
the
Because-
context from part 1
Because
and 2.
Battle Tendency is the best fucking arc in the series.
Why would I not start with the first part of the thing? I don't
Because
know.
people are stupid.
People are retarded. A lot of people say
Yeah.
it's boring, but it's not. It's so good. Oh
They're the
man.
kind of people who
It-
deny the god that is Speedwagon.
Exactly. Speedwagon. Man, part 1, just the intro alone, just the opening gets you so pumped up for the episode. Man, it is so good. Oh. Goodness. And I put off watching JoJo for like all of my life. I just watched it last year.
Yeah, I haven't watched
Same,
it yet
actually.
either.
Man, I don't know. And then it opens up a whole new bunch of memes, which is Bionicle
does.
and JoJo crossover memes. There you go.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Thank you very much for watching, and see you around, cunts.